Journeyman, how we doing? It's been a minute, and the point of this video is to just give some updates on what I'm doing, because the path that I'm setting, I'm a maverick in my family. I'm fucking making new paths, dude. There's no paths, that's okay, dude. I got a fucking machete. We're cutting through the jungle. There's gonna be some fucking branches that hit you in the face along the way, but we're making new fucking paths here. So I am talking about finances, and keep in mind I'm driving a Prius, so obviously I'm not fucking wealthy. Even if I was wealthy, I'm not gonna lie, it'd be very hard for me not to roll around in something that triggers the emotion of wealth, if that makes sense. I grew up with my mother and my two older brothers, and you know, my mom made a lot of money, but it wasn't budgeted properly, and it wasn't allocated to benefit the family. It was allocated to benefit a particular person. So what I'm going to share is my strategy moving forward to benefit a community of people as well as myself and my family, because I think it's important to lift each other up and not tear each other down. I learned this lesson since my last video, and I'll share it with you guys now. You don't outgrow the people that you are associated with. You outgrow the version of yourself that accepted to be around those people. A lot of pain goes into that. It's a very short phrase, but man, it's a powerful one. Alright, so let's get into it. Number one, if you want to save money, if you want to set yourself up, you gotta save money, period. There's ways to just go all in and freaking, you know, like you hear on social media and stuff like that. You can freaking bet your last dime, like I did 3 times, and it won't work out. I mean, it didn't work out for me. I'm not saying it won't work out, but you gotta be able to realize the risk, the prudent risk. If I don't make it, X will happen. And for a lot of people, that's a good thing. You know, a lot of people operate off of necessity. Quite frankly, I do too. So what does that look like? Case in point, I was in the military for about 6.5, 7 years, and I was a staff sergeant, and I had a pretty good MOS. I was working my way up, but I got captured by this idea. I just wanted more, man. I wanted more out of myself. I've always wanted this. I've always wanted more out of myself, and it starts with the mindset, and then we'll talk about how that plays into finances. So the example I'm giving is, I got out of the military. I had spine surgery, as mentioned in the previous videos, and the only person that showed up for me in person was my wife, my girlfriend at the time. And that showed me loyalty. It showed me trust, unconditional trust in me. And I went for it all in terms of finances, right? Because I had that foundation of trust with someone. She was willing to invest in me. So after I got out, I took my freaking thrift savings plan, which in the military is your Roth IRA that I've built up since I was 20 something. I had around, I don't know, like 18 grand that I pulled all out, and I decided to pursue just working on myself physically and mentally. So ice bath, I just transformed myself into someone that was projecting that they were just made of fucking iron. I do ice baths, sauna, still do sauna. Don't do as many ice baths today. I actually sold my deep chest freezer the other day, but we're getting a new one soon. The point I'm making is I took all the money out and I blew it. Went to Tucson, Arizona. We actually sold the house in Fayetteville, North Carolina, where we lived, where I retired out of, and I basically blew it. I blew that, and I blew the half of the proceeds of the property that we sold together. And I didn't really understand what wealth was about because I was just centered on myself. I was solely devoted to myself, which in certain aspects you need that. So let's talk about where I am today, mentally and financially, compared to where I was. There was a point where I had $7.65 after all the bills were paid when I was living by myself in Tucson. And I had a Mazda B3000 1998 with a blown head gasket sitting in my one bedroom studio apartment. It was really like a studio apartment, one bedroom, one bath. I don't know if that's a one bedroom, one bath, but it was tiny. Didn't have a TV, just had a computer to monitor. And I was sitting in that room crying because I had gotten injured. And what that point taught me was I need to get my shit together, dude. Financially, for myself and for my family. So I just moved back with my wife. She lived in Maryland, I lived in Tucson. While I was training, I would train 8 weeks and then fly back for a week. And that's how we did it. Because I was training to become a world champion in triathlon half distance. Obviously that path didn't work out to anything as far as that achievement, but it did teach me a bunch of lessons. It gave me another example of discipline that I can apply, the switch. But more importantly, once I moved back to Maryland, I put that same discipline into creating wealth for my family. So today, I sit here in a Prius that's paid off. My wife's truck is paid off. The only bills we have is from our mortgage, from our primary property. And we have around, I want to say 70, high 70s or low 80s in the savings. Haven't checked it today. But how did I get there though? I got there because we started paying ourselves first. I started educating myself in risk-adverse activities, meaning yes, it's worth taking risk. Yes, you need to do the things that you will regret when you're on your deathbed, basically. So I'm not ashamed of the fact that I went for it and didn't make it. Because everything happens for a reason, and that saying comes out in the shittiest times. But today I'm financially there. I have a big nest egg, and now I'm getting ready to invest in my first property. Doing the house hacking strategy. Learn from the Bigger Pockets podcast, as well as I would say probably like 3 or 4 books that I've read and online. And I share this not to like boast or brag, but when you have a nest egg built up and you have your Roth IRAs going like my wife and I do, and she has her thrift savings plan, it gives you a sense of security financially that helps the risk activity that you're getting ready to dive into, which is investing, because it is a risk, but it invokes a level of trust within my wife and myself that I can do it and it will work out, because we have the financial backing to continue to steamroll the obstacles in the future. So now we're moving from Maryland to San Antonio, and we're investing in our first investment property as mentioned, and I'm just so excited because I am living proof that you can do the things you talk about, but you have to have the right mindset. You got to have the right strategy. So this is just the first video of many to come in the future as I document my wealth building journey with you guys. So if you have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comments. And you just have to be willing to grow. You have to be willing to do the things you don't want to do. For example, I don't want to listen to an audiobook right now, but I'm getting ready to. Because it's better to do the things you don't want to do than do the things that you think you want to do that aren't necessarily aligned with your goals. So, if you learn anything, just apply that lesson. Do the things you don't want to do. And a financial nugget that I've learned and how I've been able to save up is pay yourself first, always and every time. No matter what the amount is, even if it's $1. It tells yourself that the dream is worth going for. And as long as you have the nest egg in place, you can do the things that you want to do and ultimately achieve freedom that you want. Freedom to me is waking up on my own time. It's 5:19 and I don't want to be awake right now. And I don't want to drive an hour to work and then an hour and a half back at the end of the day, because I don't like what I'm doing. I'm a union iron worker with a background in welding. I went to trade school. Doesn't mean that you have to like what you're doing. As long as you know every day you're one day closer to achieving the plan and the goal and the journey that you're on, that's worth waking up for, and that's worth being excited about. So that's what I'm going to give you guys. Videos documenting the journey about mindset shifts, financial wealth building, and overall freedom for me, which is waking up when I want to, doing the things that I want to, and building the community around me that I want to be around me. So if I can do it, you can do it. I'll see you guys on the next one. Journeyman out.